Good afternoon, Grinders. This is your NFL SimLabs analysis for Monday, October 6th. I'm Jordan Cooper, aka BlenderHD, BlenderHD. If you want to follow me on Twitter, hit that thumbs up button on your way in the door. You know how much I like the thummy thumbs. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and hit the notification bell to always know when we go live. 7:30 p.m. Eastern pre-lock show for Monday Night Football. It's the Chiefs at the Jags. It's right now it looks like a 45.5 total in the game. KC is favored by 3.5 points with a 24.5 implied team total. Jacksonville has a 21-point implied team total. And we got a spread out, a little bit spread out offenses today, a lot more choices. Projections are quite clear today. Quite clear today on the top options. We have Patrick Mahomes at 10.6K at the highest projected raw point player on the slate by 5.5 points. It looks like, yeah, about 5.5. Yeah, about 5.5. 21.89, highest owned player, obviously, on the slate. Then we have Trevor Lawrence, 16.24. Xavier Worthy at 8,800, 15.69. Then we get like Brian Thomas, Etienne, in like, I mean, they're a little bit overpriced. Kelsey at 11, and then a lot of players at like single digit projections. I mean, all the way up and down the price scale. Not like I don't see many like really cheapy people, but beneath the kickers and the defenses, I mean, we got guys like Kareem Hunt at 4,200, Washington at 3,600. Even someone like Brashard Smith at 3,200. I probably won't see much volume. Tootin at 2,800, Noah Gray at 2,400, De'Ami Brown at 2,000. A lot of options today. According to our sims, I mean, we showed the projected ownership versus optimal here as Patrick Mahomes being over owned, but in our premium showdown HQ, we show him as under owned. We actually show that the optimal roster construction is heavily leans towards the Chiefs, towards the favorite, with a lot more 4-2s and 5-1s than 2-4s and 1-5s. But we'll see when we run SimLabs what that shows up as. So it's kind of like it shows it shows kind of contradictory type of information. I'll run 150 just to see because I don't know how updated our Showdown HQ is compared to what SimLabs has right here, or vice versa. So let me put in large field because obviously we're playing the large field contest and showdown today. Medium results range. I'm not gonna put any filters or anything like that just to see what shows up. But I mean, these lineup constructions. I mean, you're gonna be spending up at captain a lot. I'm assuming. I mean, yeah, I just don't see how Patrick Mahomes is over owned in SimLabs. So let's run 150 just to make sure because I'm seeing contradictory information here. A lot of players are like technically overpriced on this slate. This may not be the highest scoring of slates. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to exposures and see what we do show in the captain spot. Yeah, we're actually not we're only getting Patrick Mahomes 12%, which is still fine. But our Showdown HQ shows it as like massively underowned. Worthy 22%, Kelsey 15%, Mahomes 12%. Then we get Etienne, Thomas, Bretton Strange in the captain. I'm not a big fan of that, but I mean, I guess 4,600. You're just gonna care about duplication. Like anytime you play cheap captains, and you're like, wow, I could fit in like 5 expensive people in my lineup, and my projection looks great. Yeah, it's duped like 7 million times, right? Because it's just easy to do. Then we get some Pacheco, we get a wider swath of captains than we do on most showdown slates, and that's primarily a byproduct of like the difference between player projections, especially in the mid range, is not that dramatic. It really isn't. I mean, Xavier Worthy stands above at 8,800 compared to guys like Travis Hunter and Pacheco and like someone like Thornton and Juju at 4,800. that you're much more likely to be using like these mid. You're more likely to be using somewhere between 7,600 and Kelsey up as the captain than anything else. But Patrick Mahomes in the flex spot is like easy. I mean, once you account for the captain plus flex, I mean, we have the flex at nearly 85% and the captain at nearly 13%. So there's like 2% of lineups that don't have Patrick Mahomes in it, as opposed to someone like Trevor Lawrence, who only shows up in captain in 2% of lineups here, and then 76. I mean, that's still a lot. That's still, you're using him 78% of the time. But obviously, I mean, there have to be Mahomes lineups, non-Mahomes lineups that are plus EV. And that's what I like to do with SimLabs. Is like, well, if I don't use Patrick Mahomes, what do those lineups look like? Because that's the biggest use for SimLabs, is figuring out what you want to do. We'll get a little idea of like what the types of lineups that you want to play, and then let SimLabs show you what's the best way to use those players. So let's say I just excluded Mahomes, right? I'm not saying that I would. If I'm playing 3 lineups tonight, I'm probably going to have him in all 3 lineups. But if I wanted to play a lineup that didn't have Mahomes, there probably aren't nowhere near as many plus EV lineups, but there has to be some, right? Because we ran 150 and 2% of them did not have Patrick Mahomes in it. So what do those lineups look like? So I'm just going to go put in 20, medium results range, and see what these look like. I mean, the bottom 15 probably aren't good because it's forcing you to pay. I'm forcing it to give me 20. Yeah, it goes down pretty damn quick, right? So Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelsey, Brian Thomas, Trevor Lawrence. It seems like more Jaguars focused lineups, which are going to be underowned today, but also less likely to be optimal. But you can see here, like especially a guy like Xavier Worthy, you could play without Mahomes and the captain because Worthy could score big bombs. He could score a rushing touchdown. There are ways for Worthy to be the optimal captain without Mahomes, even though he is correlated to Worthy, not outscoring someone like Trevor Lawrence. If Trevor Lawrence has 300 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns, right? Kareem Hunt in the captain, right? Here's another one. Worthy in the captain, right? Worthy in the captain, Etienne in the captain. And then we start getting kind of like a little bit crappier lineups. But yeah, there are ways. So if you wanted to play a non-Mahomes lineup, I mean, this first one is the one that rates out the most. Worthy, Thomas, Lawrence, Kelsey, Little, and Brenton Strange. So this is something that you would use SimLabs for. But for the most part, we're probably going to be playing Patrick Mahomes today. But how about lineups that don't include, like say we excluded Trevor Lawrence. What do those lineups look like? Right, we're going to exclude Trevor Lawrence, and maybe we lock in Xavier Worthy into the captain spot. So let's say you decided that. So what do these lineups look like? I'm assuming the SimLabs ratings are going to be much higher for these lineups. Right, 92, 89, 87, 85. Yeah, much higher. Right, Worthy, Mahomes, Thomas, Kelsey, Juju, Parker, Washington. 0 remaining. It's probably going to be duped a bunch. Right, here's a 5-1. Worthy, Mahomes, Marquise Brown, Juju, Kansas City defense, Travis Etienne. 200 remaining. Right, let's take a look. What is our optimal projected lineup look like? Right now, our optimal projected lineup is a 93.13. And it is Mahomes and captain with Diami Brown, Kareem Hunt, Etienne, Worthy, and Lawrence. So basically, it's the key. We take out Lawrence here. Now, let me just run the top 20 again, and let's see what the projected lineups. The median projection should be much higher. Of course, they may be dupable. Okay. The projections aren't. I just want to make sure that they're equal. 20. Okay, that's the main reason because lineup HQ has not been updated compared to SimLabs, so we're getting numbers that are a little bit different. Right, Brian Thomas projection 13.3. No, it's about the same. Trevor Lawrence 16. Yeah, it's about the same. Mahomes' projection is a little bit lower. Jacksonville defense, Noah Gray. No, this is about right. It's about right. Their top lineup is Worthy, Mahomes, Noah Gray, and then Lawrence, Thomas, and then the Jacksonville defense at 4K. There's have a Kelsey lineup, Worthy. I mean, I think Worthy and we saw in the first run that Worthy and Kelsey are probably the top two like mean projected type of players. But let's say we wanted to play Mahomes and the captain. Play Mahomes and the captain. Let me take a look at Showdown HQ and see like what players are over owned. Because the Showdown HQ shows Mahomes and the captain is significantly under owned. And shows that captain wise that are under owned, like Lawrence under owned. But guys like Worthy and Kelsey are over owned. Kareem Hunt in the captain over owned. Pacheco over owned. Juju, Strange, Hunter, anything in the mid range shows as over owned. Then we look in the flex under and over ownership. Obviously, like Mahomes and Lawrence, only because we're playing in the captain way more often. But under-owned, like someone like Kelsey is under-owned in the flex. Basically, Worthy and Kelsey, because they're being played in the captain spot too often. Kelsey more so than not. But like Kansas City Chiefs defense, over-owned. We have both defenses as over-owned. We have Butker as over-owned. So let's say we took that into account and we want to lock in Mahomes in the captain, Kelsey in the flex. Let's say we want to play a lineup that is Mahomes, captain, Kelsey, Worthy in the flex. Well, what do these lineups look like? So let's go. Let's run 20. Right, 91. Okay, yeah, these lineups are great, obviously. All these lineups are going to rate out very well. Right, Mahomes, Worthy, Kelsey with Lawrence, Strange, Washington. Done. Probably duped a bunch, but that's the top lineup here. Then we get Mahomes, Worthy, Kelsey, Juju, Lawrence, Washington. So instead of playing Brent and Strange, you're playing Juju instead. 100 remaining. Another lineup that probably is duped a bunch. Then here's a 5-1 with Mahomes, Worthy, Kelsey, Butker, Gray, Lawrence, and Lawrence as the lone Jaguar. Mahomes, Worthy, Kelsey, Lawrence, Brenton Strange, De'Ami Brown. 1,900 remaining. Like, I'm much more likely to play this lineup. This lineup actually projects better than the lineup next to it, but leaves 1,900 on the table. So you're much less likely of being duped. You'll be duped, but not 117 times. This lineup will be duped 8 times. Something like that. That's what I'd be looking for on this slate. Because looking at these projections, like there's not a dramatic drop in projection between like Hollywood Brown all the way down to De'Ami Brown. Like in between the Browns, in between both Browns, like the projection difference is 4 points, but it's a $5,000 gap. So it's quite possible you could play a lineup that would fit in Hollywood Brown for 7K, and then instead play De'Ami Brown at 2K, leave 5,000 on the table, and the only difference in projection is going to be 4 points, which is going to be basically one catch for 30 yards or 2 catches for 20 yards. And that's it. That's it. That's the only difference between the two lineups, and leave 5,000 on the table. Because I'm assuming this is going to be a game of touchdowns. Like anyone under the kickers and the defenses that scores a touchdown it's going to be worthwhile. Instead of playing Hollywood Brown at 7K, you can play Kareem Hunt. And you give up like 1 point in mean projection. That's it. Right? So you could leave, 2,800 on the table. And 10 yards receiving or rushing is the difference between the two projections of both players. So that's why a lot of these lineups in SimLabs, 1,700 remaining, 1,300 remaining, 700 remaining, 1,100 remaining, 900 remaining. There's a lot of lineups that leave a whole bunch here. 2,700 remaining. Mahomes, Worthy, Kelsey, Pacheco, and Hunt. Brenton Strange is the punt play. This is kind of the Chiefs go like nuts, and the Jaguars turn over the ball 4 times type of line. but it leaves 2,700 on the table. And this is an absolutely viable lineup. And especially with both running backs for the Chiefs in here, with Mahomes and the captain, this could be a fairly unique lineup, leaving 2,700 on the table. There's another one with 2,700 on the table. Mahomes, Worthy, Kelsey, Juju, Trevor Lawrence, and then you play a 1K Tim Patrick and hope for the best. These are all doable lineups. This is the way that I would be more likely to go. I'm playing 3 lineups today. I typically check the lineups out on my phone on SimLabs. We have a phone app for it. So if you do sign up for a RotoGrinders subscription, you'll get access to that. I'm out and about. I listen to the pre-lock show. I mean, I could watch it. I'm listening on YouTube, and hear late news and actives, stuff like that. Then go on my phone, and you get like 95% of the functionality of SimLabs in the iOS app that you do on the desktop. The only thing you don't get is like, you're not really downloading 150 lineups and syncing stuff across the board. Like you're not doing that on the phone anyway. But everything else you get to do. You get all the advanced options, the exposures, everything. Filter lineups, save lineups. You can do that all in the phone app. And that's all part of your RotoGrinders Combo Lite or Combo Pro subscription. I always suggest the Combo Lite for new people. You get full access to SimLabs for the 4 major sports. NBA's coming back. You'll get it for that. MLB during the playoffs, I guess. PGA every week, as well as NFL for all these slates, right? It's not just the main slate, not just DraftKings even, right? FanDuel, you get the showdown slates. You get, we got Thursday night football and Sunday night football, all that type of stuff. So it's useful all week to do research, and you could also do research as part of the Combo Lite package with our research databases, such as Gridiron IQ, Court IQ, Plate IQ. If you really want to drill down on splits and stats and versus the DVOA versus this type of thing, you can do that all here at RotoGrinders, as well as our comprehensive articles and expert surveys and value rankings and all that type of stuff. It's for one low price, $39.99 a month Combo Lite package. You get everything with Combo Pro. You want all the sports, you want all the premium stuff, you want to download player projections and prop projections and ownership stuff and lineup HQ and optimize 150 lineups with all your rules and all you do that in Combo Pro for all this, man. You get WNBA and NHL and soccer and college football. You want all that. That's the Combo Pro package. But you could always start out with the Combo Lite package by clicking on the link in the description below. And it's free. Thumbs up button. So hit that like button on your way out the door. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here and hit the notification bell to always know when we go live, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Remember, pre-lock show. You want to get the tips and the tricks and the plays and the picks. Go there leading up until lock for Thursday. It's not Thursday. Monday Night Football. I'll be back for Thursday Night Football, but today's Monday Night Football. Chiefs and the Jags. Let's hope for at least an entertaining game. Then I'll be back for Thursday Night Football later in the week. So I'll see you then for another NFL SimLabs analysis here on RotoGrinders.com.